What's up, guys? Good morning. How we doing? Hope you're all having a good morning here so far. But it is time for us to get to work here on the Nasdaq. See if we can rob the bank here today. What's up, guys? Good morning. How we doing? As far as movement here today, take a look up top. 5-minute chart, top left, gives us a full view since the open here. Obviously, a few 100-point move downside. Not bad. Good to see volatility. I like that. And then, of course, we're reverting back into the range now. So, we have to draw a few silly lines like a 3-year-old here that we know that everyone's going to be looking at. Right? Right? More or less. It's kind of what I'm looking at least. So, we'll see if that can hold. And if this flat top, obviously, this is a big deal here. We'll see if that ends up holding as well. If that does, then all of a sudden, this turns into a brutal, brutal wedge that will most likely pick a direction and go before most likely re-entering a trading range. So that's what we're looking at so far here. Again, that's a 5-minute chart. Top right is a 2-minute. That's what I'll be executing off of here today. I will again be scalping here today. Bottom of your screen, that is of course the daily showing just the New York session. You can see here quite a bit of overlap, which is extremely representative of a range market. So, let's see what we can get done here today. How you guys doing? Jason, good morning. How we doing, brother? Panther, good to see ya. Giovanni Joe, my man, what's up, brother? Kane, how we doing? Day Trade Tom, good to see you guys. Troutman, Lucas, good morning. Good morning. 5-minute, good morning. Pat, good morning. Blew 4 evals today, not a big deal. Tried passing in 1 day. The PA account is above the $2,600 buffer. That's what matters, Pat. We're not here to get a guaranteed return on every account. We're here to get an average positive ROI on the average account, right? That's the goal. And, you know, when especially with Apex, man, they run such good sales all the time that the math works. Even with a small edge, the math works. You don't necessarily want to, man, but if you look at the math, you can blow a lot of evals and still have this be a very profitable venture for you, even with not that much of an edge. It's very interesting. Rufio, good to see ya. All right, we're a minute 55 out here from the close of this 2-minute bar. Again, this is a 2-minute chart that I will be executing off of here today. So let's see what we can get as far as closes. Now, if we want to draw something here on the 2-minute, obviously, right, clearly, right, clearly. Not a big fan of that, gotta tell you. When we have an absolutely flat top, flat bottom channel, this is my least favorite kind of action because when it's tight, I mean, how wide are we looking here? Realistically, it's actually not as tight as I would have imagined here. We're probably about 30, 32 points wide, which is manageable. So I think what we should do here is buy low, sell high mentality scalping. Look at the top third, the lower third, stay away from the middle third, and see what we can get done. 30 points wide, 35 points wide, that's doable. That's doable. We just have to have a protective stop, most likely in an arbitrary spot that makes sense, which is my least favorite part about trading little channels like this. But again, it can make mathematical sense to do it. It's just kind of hard psychologically to figure out, well, where do I put the protective stop order in case you get a big news wick, right? That's really the concern. If you get a big news wick that breaks you out of this thing, that's tough. Now, if the price action stays calm, it's not a big deal. It's easy, right? We just cut losers when you get a strong bear bar closing well outside of the channel or a strong bull bar if you're short. Still, not the market I'd have us in if it were up to me, but it's never up to me, so we just got to do what we can. All right, let's see if we get a nice clean bull close near the high of this, and I'll sell that rollover if we get it. Minute 52 out. Let's see what we get. Trading Chris, good morning. Yeah, what are we up to now, Joe? I think we're up to about 110. Now, worth mentioning here. Just trying to get my eyes adjusted to everything we're looking at. Worth mentioning here is this 5 minute. That's the 5 minute 20 EMA. That's kind of acting as part of that top third. Okay, so paying attention there. And here we go. We've got 7 seconds. Let's see if we get a nice low close. Bears have work to do. It's going to be an inside close. Hands off, no trade there, on to the next bar. Very simple here, by the way. The mentality is stupid, elementary. We're just looking at a buy low, sell high mentality. I want to fade cocky moves. I'm not really looking to fade necessarily like a doji like that or like this. I would love to fade something more like that bar there, if we could, either direction. All right, we're about a minute out here from the close. Brandon, good morning. How we doing? Well, ATR, by the way, here on the 2 minute chart is 15-ish. Hovering right around 15, which I gotta tell you, this time of day, that's good to see. Even though we're in this silly little channel here, that's a very good ATR this time of day on a 2 minute chart. Could be 6. You know, it's 15. We can work with that. Bruce, good morning. How we doing? All right, now when we're looking at this, you guys know we gotta keep an eye. Does that become a thing? Perhaps. However, you could have said that about this as well. So I'm gonna hold off on that mentality and just keep it as simple as possible until we get hit over the head with a brick that says, "Hey, we're breaking out here." Marty, good to have you. Keep coming back, man. We got a lot of regulars in the chat daily. Want to know what's really interesting, by the way, about this little channel? Take a look at the 5-minute chart. Can anyone in the chat tell me? It's not perfect. Trading never is perfect, but it's close. Where is this channel forming based on the day so far? And no, it's not the 20 EMA. It's there, but that's not what I mean. Can anyone tell me? Vinny. 50% retracement. That's correct. So, it's not magic. All right, but if you think about this logically with me for a second, what happens at the 50% retracement zone after you get a big move like that? You get a whole bunch of average in bulls who are deep, deep, deep in the red, saying, thank my lucky stars, my prayers have been answered, I can get out at break even. That's what they're saying, right? I mean, are you really gonna have an average in bull that averaged down all morning and is sweating at 9 a.m. all of a sudden be like break even after they were just thousands or tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of dollars in the red? You think they're gonna see break even and then all of a sudden get greedy and be like, nah, we're full retracement? Most of them, no. Most of them, they're like, thank you, I will just take my break-even trade there and I will never do that again. That's what they're all saying, and then they do it again tomorrow. We've all been there, right? That's selling pressure, right? That adds selling pressure. So, you know, maybe you have some bulls adding as we come back to lower their cost basis a little, and then as soon as they're break-even or a little in the green, selling pressure leads to a little channel. It's not magic, right? It's just, think about it logically, it makes sense. Now, obviously, there's a lot of factors at play. I don't want to oversimplify an extremely complicated market, but something to think about. Joe, they'd be out by now. No, it's been sideways for a bit. We will have new buyers if it breaks up, don't you think? Well, I mean, listen, I'll trade the price action. As far as are they out, yeah, I'd say they're probably out by now or slowly getting out as we go sideways. But remember, a sideways channel is a self-fulfilling prophecy. Right, Joe? So the more it goes sideways, the less likely people are to take bets of the breakout. So it keeps going sideways until finally someone has enough guts to break it out. Vin, good morning. How we doing? All right, now again, here we go. I'm thinking about it. I'm paying attention to it. But that's about it. I'm not going to trade off of that because this, we've seen this already, right? Here, I mean, it wasn't really developed there. I guess the best example is here. I want to look at the whole channel, though. I just don't think that's, you know, I mean, could it turn into a wedge, break downside? Sure. If it does, I will be thrilled because then we actually have a little more decisive nature out of this market. Again, trading right here, which I'd say is about the bottom of the middle third, maybe the top of the bottom third. Really quick way to get chopped up. Great way to get chopped up. Leave this to the algos. The algos have hundreds of thousands, if not millions of trades in their sample size. And they know exactly what their edge is. As humans, I don't care how good you are, our edge is always a little foggy. We have it, but it's a little foggy. And to me, it's just too hard to trade the middle of the range. Gotta be big enough to admit that. It's just too hard to find edge. So we wait, right, until the bottom third or the top third. We get a definitive close where, hey, the bulls are pretty cocky. Let's fade them. The bears think this is going to break out. I don't. Let's fade them. That's all I'm looking for here right now. I mean, listen, to me, logic, it's the only way I can look at it. I don't... Magic indicators that are all just based on the price action anyway. Anything that isn't price action, if you want to add volume in there, fine. But anything that's not price action, self-fulfilling prophecies, I'm just not into it. I just can't make sense of that. What is the futures market? It's buyers and sellers. It's not complicated. It was designed to be an incredibly efficient and good and liquid trading product and hedging product. That's what it was made to be. Buyers and sellers, right? Human buyers and sellers fall for and contribute to self-fulfilling prophecies all day. And if that's what the humans are doing, how are the algos built? They're built to do the same, right? It just makes it more of a self-fulfilling prophecy because their goal is to make money, right? So they're going to do what makes sense, and that just adds more volume to the thing that humans were already going to do. Which is why when people say, oh man, AI is going to kill human traders. No. I don't think that that's true at all. I think the opposite. I think it's going to make trading maybe make more sense. Maybe make moves a little bit cleaner. Maybe decrease chop a little bit because there'll be so much more volume that it kind of fills in the cracks, which is kind of what creates chop. Could be wrong, but I'm excited about it. All right, we got a minute 41 seconds till the closure of this 2-minute bar. Let's see if we can get a nice strong bull close. Within reason, I'd like to fade it. If it's 15 points outside of the range, I mean, really, even 10 points outside of the range, then you got to think twice. Let's see here, a minute 20 out. Caden, are you fucking with me? He said, Nico, you hear about the possible change to the PDT rule? Proposed to lower minimum capital from 25K to 2,000. Caden, don't play with me. Don't play with me about PDT. You know better than this. Is that actually in place? Not in place yet, but is that happening soon? Please tell me it's true. Oh, goodness. How about we just lift it all together, huh? Why even lower it? I mean, listen, we're all adults. Some people are going to come in and use it as a casino. Fine, let them. We're all adults. But I would love to be able to see, you know, a single mom come in with $250 and be able to trade as many times a day as she would like to learn quickly. That's what I would like to see. I don't understand why that's not already a thing. All right, here comes the rollover. It's gonna be kind of a, look at that, doji. Yeah, they said they're going to try to end the 25K PDT by the end of 2026. In typical fashion, everything needs to take 26 months to pass. Good Lord. This is such a no-brainer. Just sign the fucking thing today. I don't get it. All it takes, put it across whoever's desk is in charge of PDT, which who the hell even knows? And say, hey, this is pretty dumb, isn't it? They'll say, yeah, maybe we shouldn't protect everybody from themselves, considering this is the United States and not China. Yeah, sign that. Get rid of it today. Don't get me started. I'm already halfway there. All right, 48 seconds out here. Let's see what we get as far as a close. Roy, Nico, you said you're much more aggressive when you're trading evals. Yes, that is true. Do you still transfer those trades to your log, or do you only log the paid/normal trades? I don't. I don't log my eval trades just because, I don't know. I probably should. I don't. I log all the real trades, though. Been doing it for years. Probably will never stop logging. It's just part of my day at this point. But the evals, nah. All right, inside close there. You see, close inside of this previous bar is wick high. Gotta watch this action here. Tony, good morning. How we doing? Always Learning says, do you know off the cuff how gains losses at prop firms work in terms of taxes? Okay, so this is probably a good time to pop up the I don't know what I'm talking about text. I am not an accountant. I am not a tax guy. So don't listen to me. However, my understanding as far as this is concerned is I don't know how it works in live accounts as far as prop to prop. But in the sim funded, which is what most of you are trading unless you're already in a live account, for example, if you're in Pro Plus at Take Profit Trader, the documentation you get at the end of the year might look a little different. But in the sim funded, which is like the regular Take Profit Trader Pro, the Apex regular PAs, most across the board, you're treated as a... what's the word? Sole proprietor? Like you essentially work for them and you get it as if they the company are paying you. Yeah, they send you a 1099 and it works that way. It's not the same as if you're trading a personal account, by the way. Trading a personal account is quite a bit more complicated. You're gonna have to go, by the way, if you're trading personal accounts, just to be clear, you're gonna end up at a point, we've all gone through it, where you're talking to your accountant and they're like, okay, do you want to identify as a professional trader? And then there's a lot of questions as far as, okay, so like, how much are you making? How consistently are you making money? Does it make sense to do this? Do you have any other income sources? How big are they? If you have a side hustle, now you have to consider that. And then you either say yes or no. What makes more sense for me? With prop firms, it's super easy. It's the same as if you were, again, don't listen to me, but it's the same as if you were, selling stuff on TikTok and you make money and then they send you your documentation at the end of the year. Or it's the same as if you make money on YouTube and Google sends you something at the end of the year. It's very simple, which is nice. Independent contractor, yes, Brandon. I believe that's what they're calling it at the prop firms. But something you guys should be aware of, by the way, is that a big thing with trading futures with personal accounts is there are tax benefits, right? Between short-term and long-term capital gains, they're taxed differently than regular stock, which is a huge benefit when you're trading futures in a personal account. You don't get that when you're trading prop. They just 1099 you. Independent contractor. But listen, it doesn't, I'll always say, again, I'm not an accountant, but this isn't an accountant conversation. This is a business conversation. I'll always say that people just get so hung up in, okay, I want to start trading. Should I create an S Corp? What should I do? It's like, bro, just go make some fucking money. Go make money. Go find an edge and make money. It will not matter eventually. Eventually, you'll sit down with your accountant and he'll say, it really makes sense for you to do this. You'll say, okay, do it. You want to stick around while I do it? No, just do it and I'll pay you. I'll review it when you're done. Okay, and you go back to trading. Don't get caught up in the little nitty gritty of it, but when you're doing big money in a personal account, futures help, man. There's benefits. All right, right back into the range here. Let's extend these out. Oh, yes. Yes, visit Wall Street Bets. They'll say, actually, I don't want to make money because then I'll be taxed. It's a taxable event. It's like, oh my God. All right, middle of the channel currently, man. We got to see a close near the edge. That's not an inside close. This was an inside close. If you shorted it, I wouldn't be mad at you. But it doesn't align with me. At least what I'm looking to do here, unfortunately. Yeah, Vinny, I'd have to agree. I'd put that number even quite a bit higher, to be honest with you. Seriously, if you guys, take this for what it's worth, but if you're not doing big numbers, stop spending all your time trying to figure out how to structure everything so you save $12 on taxes. Dude, you gotta just make money. You gotta make money. Make money. Worry about it later. Even if you pay a little more taxes year one, it doesn't matter. You just have to get to the point where you have revenue. It's hard enough to do as it is, right? You don't have a month to waste on figuring out, oh, should I make it an S Corp? It's like, dude, you made $20,000 last year. Just go make money, right? I mean, isn't that the goal? All right, we got 18 seconds out. And I will get short there and see if we can catch a little scalp with a pullback back into the channel here. ATR is about 14, 15 right now, so keeping that in mind as far as targets here. All right, take 11 points there for 1240, 1,200 bucks. Let's move on. Trading ever after. Nico's best advice ever on taxes. Just make money. Well, I mean, it fixes it all, right? Gains, good to hear it. Killing it this morning. Bernard, Nico, me and you are always in opposite trades, but both making money. That has to be beauty of trading. Yes, it's a beautiful thing. There's not right and wrong. There's just different management styles. You can do opposite things at the exact same time and both lose or both win. It was top left. It was on screen, on the execution screen, and in the top left. Order window top left. There, right? I'm out already, though. Scalping, man. We're scalping. It's quick. Gotta keep up. Yes, Leon. Vin, how you been doing, Nico? All profits? Nah, we lose just as much as any other winning trader. Lots of losses, but we're doing well. This is how we sit. One trade so far on the day. One little scalp, but we're just getting started, man. All right, we got 20 seconds out from the close here of this 2-minute bar. So, by the way, that trade, as this bull bar closed, we rolled over. I sold that rollover, and here we are right back into the range. It's just a bet against a breakout. Right? I mean, you look at the 5-minute chart. Is the breakout coming? Yeah, at some point. How probable is it that it breaks out on any given attempt? Pretty low. Pretty low, right? So you can position yourself and structure something that makes mathematical sense. Self-fulfilling prophecy. All right, now, you guys remember when we drew this? And I said, yeah, but we've been faked out by that already once. And then we did. We got faked out. We backfilled it, right? We could do the same thing again. But I'm not going to, because this would be the 3rd time. And I just have really no reason to believe that's going to become a thing. So let's extend this out. Right now, I'm really just watching this channel. Same deal. Hey, Chris, good to have you. Right now, I'd love to see this fall off to about 23.2, maybe 23.195. Get a nice bear bar closing near the low, and then I'd buy that. I'd buy that rollover. All right, Bears, come on now. Redneck says, do you use higher time frames for context before and or during the day, or only scalp the lower time frame price action? Well, I'm using these. 2-minute top right, 5-minute top left, daily of New York sessions, bottom of your screen there. But no, I'm not really pulling up like a 30-minute chart or a 60-minute chart. At some point, there's too much information. And for me, it hurts. It doesn't help. All right, Bears, come on now. Yeah, Peter, definitely been that way last couple of days, especially. But I'm not going to complain about this little range here because honestly, it's wider. It's plenty wide. It's about 30, 35 points wide. If not a little bit more. And I will take that as opposed to a 6-point wide channel, which, man, we have seen. All right, we are 30 seconds out. Want to see a nice low close if we can get it, man. I'd love to see a low close, a strong bear close, get them nice and confident, and I would buy that. 10 seconds, come on, Bears. Need it lower than that, need it quite a bit lower than that. See that? Inside close. Inside of the previous bar is wick low. Just not there yet. Next bar, minute 55 out. let's see here. Hey, Sam, we're trading the micro NQ futures contract. Copy trading it across a bunch of prop accounts. And I'm using Take Profit Trader and Apex Trader Funding. All right, 35 seconds out. Do not want to see another inside close. I want to see it close. Man, down around 98 would be a beauty. 15 seconds. Come on, Bears. Get some backbone here, you son of a bitch. Wick higher, inside close. See that close inside the previous bar's wick low? These Bears are a little insecure. Little insecure. They see that range. That's what I see as well. But got to hold off on that last bar. On to the next bar here. Now, as we get closer and closer to the bottom of the range, I'm a little bit more willing to buy an inside close, but it's got to be close. It can't be a tiny little bear body. It's got to be close. And it also can't be a giant outsized bear bar, you know, down to 175. All right, minute 15 until the rollover here. All right, that bar is growing here. We've got a minute 50 until the rollover of the 5-minute chart. We have 50 seconds till the rollover of the 2-minute chart. Little wick back here on both, of course. See that bull's trying to take it back up into the range. I'm going to pull an Uno reverse on you guys. Let's see here. Let's see how this closes. We got to see how it closes. Okay. I'll place a stop limit buy there and see if we can get a little bit of a push through. I'm only going to give that until a minute 45 left on this bar, though. If we don't get filled in the next couple seconds, got to pull it. Got to pull it. Not there. Move on. Ninja, good morning. How we doing? What's the idea on that trade, by the way? If we take out that wick high here on this bar, I want it to happen quick. I want it to happen in the first 15 seconds, and I want it to happen violently. If we pop up through, boom, I get filled as a bull, and we get a push up ideally to the top third of that channel. But we didn't get it, so I had to pull it. All right, guys. Hey, don't go anywhere. I'll be back in 2 minutes. Just grabbing coffee. Be right back. Back. There we go. Couple of indecisive bars here. Big old doji. I'd call that a doji as well. Kind of an insecure bull bar. Well, I mean, right back up into the channel. Too bad we didn't get a nice low close out of the bears here. On this bar. All right, let's extend these out. We have 57 seconds left here on this 2-minute bar. "45 seconds. Let's see how we close. If we get a nice strong bear close near the low of the range, all of a sudden I gotta buy that for a rollover, right? Or I gotta buy the rollover more so. Come on, Bears, get us below 23-2. 12 seconds. Come on, better. It's not enough for me. It's not quite low enough. That's okay. Next bar here. Let's see what we get. Same idea applies here. 1 minute and 43 seconds out. Let's see if we can get a nice low close out of the bears. Or if the bulls steal my trade from me and take it high early. Headline from Trump here, he says, we're thinking about no tax on capital gains on houses. That'd be interesting. Obviously, most real estate investors are just rolling it over anyway and inevitably delaying the tax. But for someone, for like a family or someone who's retiring, who's selling their home, that'd be very nice. All right, 10 seconds out. See what we get here. See if we can get a little bit better of a test. I don't hate that close. I don't love it. All right, I'll buy that, get long there. And we will put our protective stop. Actually, I'm gonna split the difference and make that protective stop arbitrary. Because I'm driving manually anyway. So let's just see if we can get a pop back up into the range. Looks like we are. A little better than what we got. Come on now. There we go. Look at that. Let's see if we can get a little better than 11 points. 11.5 points. Limit order is out. All right, give us a fill. Beauty. All right, we're up 2,500 bucks now. Move on. Vinny, descending resistance? Vinny, I expect you're looking at this, right? Yeah, I'm thinking about that, but I don't want to fall for it because this would be the 4th time we've seen that same argument today, and it's failed every time. So I'm trying to avoid drawing wedges inside of this channel and just stay as dumb as humanly possible and just say channel, channel, channel until someone comes along and hits us square in the nose with a pipe and says, hey dummy, we're breaking out. That is my mentality here today. So we'll keep that until we can no longer keep it. Nice, strong bull push here, right back into the 20 EMA on the 5-minute and the middle of this channel here. Beautiful bull push. All right, we got 42 seconds. See if we, can the bulls close that gap and get us up toward 230 before we close? If we do, I might have to sit here and say, I don't know about that, bulls. 25 seconds out. Need to see a close very near the high of this range for me to be willing to short a strong bull push like that. 15 seconds out. Let's see if we can take an entry. Five seconds. Need 8 points. Not there for me. No trade. Next bar. 2 minutes out. Christian, hey Nico, late to the party today. How have things been? Good. Good. 2 trades so far today. 2 winners. Looking for number 3. All right, minute 16 out here until the rollover of this 2-minute bar. Let's see if the bulls can take this higher, get nice and cocky, and then we can bet against them, huh? Hmm, 10 seconds till the rollover here. All right, on to the next bar. All right, 57 seconds here till the close of this 2-minute bar. You guys know what I'm looking for at this point, right? Just looking to fade little breakout attempts. I want one side to get as cocky as humanly possible, give us a nice clean close near either the top or the bottom of this little range, and then bet against them. That's it. Very simple here today. Buy low, sell high, scalp mentality. Joe, Nico, I took that 2-minute green bar short as it hit the 50% line. I know, stupid, but just took my quick 10 points. Yeah, you know, Joe, I assume you meant, like, you probably shorted it, like... Well, where'd you short it, Joe? If you got 10 points, you probably took it a little late, right? Oh, at the close, I see what you mean. Yeah, I mean, you know... Yeah, it's a little early for me. But there's a lot of ways to make money, man. I mean, you basically shorted a nice strong bull close at the bottom of the high third, which I can't be mad at you about. That's fine. That's all right. As scalpers, remember, we're not after some ridiculous massive edge. We're after a little bit of edge over a big sample size. All right, we got about 57 seconds till the close here of this bear bar. Let's see what we get. Bull's wicking this back up. Come on, Bears. Take us lower. Give us a nice close. 197. You know you want it. And then I'll step in and buy. 13 seconds out. I don't think we're going to get an entry here, are we? Bull's a little strong on that wick back. Is this going to be an inside close? Not quite an... Close. Close. Not quite an inside close, but big ol' wick. The majority of this bar is wick. Nothing I can do there. On to the next bar. Minute 50 out. "90 seconds. Let's extend these out. "50 seconds out. Come on, Bears." All right, see if the Bears can hold on to this cockiness, give us a nice low close. In a trend market, by the way, this would be a massive short for me. No. In a range market, do you get the fall off here? Sure. But in a range market, I want to let them feel good and then bet against them. Let's see here. Much more of a fallout. I'm going to have to hold off. Watch the rollover. Okay, I'm going to get long. be long, and I'm going to place my protective order relatively arbitrarily. And we are driving manually, fingers on the hotkeys. Let's see if we can get a reversion back into the trading range. Or at least up toward a retest at least. So this is the third trade of the day, I believe. It's the third trade of the day. We've taken 2 so far before this one. We're 2 for 2 thus far. Let's see if we can get a third winner going here. All this is, very simple. This is just a bet against the breakout, by the way. That's it. It's a range marker, right? I've little reason to believe that the bears are going to take it extremely far. If they do, we'll cut it and move on. Then we know the breakout has come, right? But for now, I got to bet against that. Nice strong close out of the bears. We're going to cut that bitch and move on. All right, still green on the day. We're good. On to the next. That's just raw price action, man. Nice strong close out of the bears. Got to cut it. Cut it and move on. All right. Now, we have 1:25 until the rollover on both the 2 and the 5-minute charts. Take a look up top. 2-minute chart top right, 5-minute chart top left. Let's see what we get here. If we get a strong close out of both, which, I mean, if we get a strong close out of one, it's going to be a strong close on the other, right? Then I will have to think about getting short on that rollover. But I want to see in the next 60 seconds, do the bulls wick this back upside and head back toward that range? Next 57 seconds will be very telling. Let's see. All right, 15 seconds here. You see the bulls are coming into wick. They're kind of looking at what I was looking at on that long to see the reverse back up toward the channel. That's an interesting close. Kind of a wicky bar there. All right, on to the next here. Let's see what we get. 1:50. We may end up using a stop limit buy here if it ends up closing as a nice strong bull bar up above low 180s. Home decor opportunity might be coming, but it's 3 a.m. Where are you from? And I'm really tired to continue. Listen, hey, if you're too tired, you might not make good decisions. If you're that tired, man, cut it and move on. Sorry, trading lingo. Cut it and go to bed. Your decision making goes out the window. Most of us in the States, we don't really think about that, but a lot of people are trading in the middle of the night. 45 seconds. All right, calm down, bulls. Calm down, calm down, calm down. Stay put. Let's clean this up, by the way. We know that that's there. Stay put, bulls. Need a stop limit buy ready. Place that. We'll give that maybe 20 seconds. Okay, and we are filled. I will bring this up. We will risk the curl. All right. Good. Good entry. I'm happy with that regardless of outcome. Now let's see if we can get a nice push. Hey Corey, how we doing? Yes, we are green today. This is our fourth trade of the day. Well, bulls, I don't love that close. Don't love that, gotta tell you. I can't do anything about it yet, but don't love it. Alright, bulls, come on now. Right back up into that trading range. Now, as always, we gotta look at the bear case. I'm long, which means I want to look at, hey, what are the enemies looking at? You guys know I'm really, really not a fan of super aggressive trend lines like this. Right, but right now, hey, listen, that is the bear case. So if they're able to take out this low, my idea is dead in the water, and I want to get stopped and move on. But until that occurs, I don't buy it. I don't buy it, especially based on the context of a range market currently. By the way, this is just my cursor. It's not a line. I've seen people think that my cursor here is me drawing lines or something. It's just my cursor. I will sometimes place it at a level of interest, but not on this trade. Now, again, let me just think out loud here for a second. If the Bears are able to take us down and take out that low right where my stop's at, all of a sudden we got to start thinking, pretty aggressive descending range here? Bear breakout actually succeeding on a range day? Hey, maybe we're heading down toward the low a day, right? Which is why at that point, my idea's out the window. And I want to be out, move on, maybe look for maybe a trend trade. But again, hey, at this point, range. Till someone breaks my nose with a brick, man. We got a thing. All right, we got a minute 13 left here on this 2-minute bar. Let's see how we close. Yeah, me too, tubed out. Yep, 57 micros. Which, I mean, listen, when you're scaling horizontally, I didn't realize people thought that was like that big. 57 to me is like kind of a small, like I could add twice and still be well within my risk parameters. But listen, that's the beauty of scaling horizontally, man. If you're trying to scale vertically, what are you doing? Trade and prop, I think the way to go, scale it horizontally. It allows you to trade micros, very small, per account. You can handle losing streaks a hell of a lot better. And you can still scale by just adding more accounts. There's unlimited props out there, essentially, to scale horizontally. It's not a big deal. But I like Apex and take profit. All right, minute 23 here. Let's see. Are these Bears going to take out that low and hit me in the face with a brick? Cause us to have to change our little thought process here about range day. Let's see. "51 seconds left here on this 2-minute bar. Yeah, they're going to take out that low, man. All right, that'll stop us. Moving on. All right, now, what we got to do, let's look at the 5-minute chart really quick. When you look at the 5 minute, you start to see, well, you know, maybe this little rollover isn't as aggressive as we think. However, I'm still thinking about that. Now, we have 3 minutes and 25 seconds till the rollover here of this 5 minute bar. We got to pay attention to this back here. There's likely some stops, right? Now, the big stop hunting region is low of day. If we could get a nice bear close like in this region here, oh, baby, I'd be selling that short, looking to take out these stops. That's probably good for a 5, 10, 15-point push. Probably more like 10, 15-point push if we could take out those stops, because they've been there all day at this point. Good, good, good. ATR, by the way, on the 2 minute chart is 13.3, so not bad. Not bad for this time of day at all. All right, we got 25 seconds left here on this 2 minute. Bit of a wick there out of the bulls. All right, 2 minutes out, on to the next. Yeah, commission, listen, on Apex, it's a little bit more. On take profit, it's the same. It's just 10% what you pay on a mini for a micro as far as commission. Again, though, on Apex, it adds up to a little bit more. But, so what? What, you're going to trade a bunch of minis and just blow through accounts because you don't want to pay an extra, 4 cents or whatever the hell it is for commission? 60 cents or whatever? We just got to make money. That's the goal, right? Horizontal scaling is the way to do it with prop. But yeah, it's not a big deal. I mean, listen, guys, if your edge is so small that commission is killing you, you're either one, taking too many trades that don't have edge, or two, you just don't have an edge at all. Not to say you shouldn't optimize commissions, you absolutely should. But if you're gonna scalp, you gotta get the sample size up, which means taking trades, paying commissions, and not worrying too much about it, right? All right, minute 42 out from the close here of this 2 minute bar. Let's see what we get. Yes, I do. I trade the afternoon. Most days, if volatility sucks, then I'll sit here and still try to trade, but there might not be anything. But most days, yeah. Yes, I'm catching things in the afternoon. All right, we got 38 seconds left here on this 2 minute, and I'm thinking. Come on, Bulls. See if we can get a nice little retest. Boom. See if we can get a fill. I want to get filled right at that wick high. All right, and I will put my protective stop. 92.50. Nice and tight. Good. Too tight is a bad thing, by the way. You want to give a trade room, but not more than it needs. ATR currently about 13, by the way. Not an awful close there out of the Bulls. Still an inside close, though. But gotta give it to them. That was a decent effort out of them. Yeah, always learning. No, I'm trading MNQ, so it's $2 a point, but I'm trading 57 micros. Copy trading across a bunch of prop accounts. So the total position is 57 micros, which is a little under 6 minis, the equivalent of. All right, let's see if the Bulls break this higher. Now again, risk on this trade is pretty tight, so I'm letting it happen automatically with the stop, not manually. If the bulls take this up through. All right, we're flat. Those pesky bulls, man. All right, on to the next. Here is the test of the 20 EMA on the 5-minute, by the way. Right here, right around 199. This is a hell of a push, though, out of the bulls. Very impressive. However, if we look at the 5, I mean, you got to say, what's everyone looking at? I'd say the bears are probably looking at something like that, right? Bulls probably looking at something like that, though. That is sloppy. But we're keeping an eye on the 20 EMA on the 5. Kind of that, like, 10-point range between about 199, maybe 210. All right, 52 seconds out. Let's see. Yeah, to copy trade all the accounts, I'm using the Affordable Indicators trade copier. I have zero affiliation with them, by the way. But it's by far been the most competent copier I've tried. So if we're going to be trading prop, got to figure out which tool is best, right? No, so when you see, okay, top left where my cursor is, open P&L, right? Obviously I'm flat right now, so there's nothing there. On screen, when you see the lines, it's gonna say 1 micro. That's because I'm on the screen for my leader account. I sacrifice 1 funded Apex account to act as the leader, and I only trade 1 micro in it. So yeah, like it's a slower account, but I trade 1 micro so that I don't fuck up the rest by ratioing it wrong, like not thinking about it right. So it makes it really easy in my head. Less friction is always better. So I sacrifice 1 account, trade 1 micro, and then in my copier, I go down the list and I ratio however many X, which is the exact number of micros I want to trade in that account. If I were gonna say, well, I have to trade 3 micros or 2 micros in that leader, now I have to think every time I go down and look at all the accounts. Okay, so I want to have, yes, it's easy math, but I don't want to open that door to a stupid mistake that makes me take a trade that's way too big, way bigger than I anticipated. I'd rather just sacrifice 1. So on screen, it's the leader. So you're going to see 1. The real position is there. I'm flat right now, so there's nothing there. All right, here comes the rollover. 6 seconds out. Inside close. All right, 33 seconds left here on this 2-minute bar. Now, again, on the 5-minute, we're coming in, testing that 20 EMA, self-fulfilling prophecy. I don't care, but everyone else does, so we have to pay attention to something like this. You can throw up whatever you want. Throw up a 20 EMA, throw up a volume-weighted average price. A VWAP might actually work better, but I'm not using it to make trade decisions. I'm just looking at it as an area of thicker trading, people making more decisions, so whatever. But we are there within a few points right now, so a little bit slower currently. Wouldn't surprise me, by the way, to see this action here turn into a sideways trading range. If we continue to fail on the higher breakouts, let's see. All right, 40 seconds here. Let's see if this closes as a doji. Again, we're right ahead of that 20 EMA on the 5, so I'm wondering here if we can get a nice pop-up through and just clear that thing. I would still be more interested in shorting it than getting long. But I mean, you see here, we had the right idea on those couple of trades that we ended up stopping out on. Just the timing was off, right? Right idea, a little early in hindsight, fine, cut it, move on. You know, right idea, it would be in the money and it now had to cut it and move on. That'll happen sometimes. Look at it for what it is. Don't let it get in your head. Sometimes you lose a couple in a row. You had the right idea, just the management in hindsight was off, but you managed it properly in the moment, so the timing just happened to be off this time. Sometimes, man, you'll be on a 12-trade win streak. That happened to us, what, like a month ago? Something like that. All right, 65 seconds out here from the close of this 2-minute. Let's see. All right, give that about 15 seconds. Limit order out. No fill, I saw. Come on, man, there we go. And I will place my protective stop there, though I do not intend to need to allow it to go that far necessarily. We'll just trade the price action bar by bar. And we'll leave that high in case we get news. Leave ourselves equally exposed, if not a little bit. Take profit side heavy. And see if we can get some continuation back into the range here. Not the greatest close there out of the bulls, but nothing to manage on that close. Just not the greatest that we've seen. But we can only ask for so much, right? By the way, ATR right now is about 11, okay? So it is tightening down a little bit, but listen, man, I'll take 11. We've seen 6 this time of day. So I'll take 11, but we got to keep that in mind. As far as, you know, profit targets. Can't be making some ridiculous ask out of a market that's not moving too much. All right, Bulls, come on now. Let's see a little bit of backbone, a little bit of follow through. Not asking for 85 points, you know? ATR is 10.6 currently. All right, got a minute 25 left here on this 2-minute bar. We'll see how it closes. It's entirely possible, by the way, that we see this kind of thing. It's entirely possible. We got to keep an eye out for that, right? Been very common as of late to see pushes right into sideways trading ranges. Can trap you right in the high of the range. By the way, a whole bunch of new people here today. Hope to see you subscribe to the channel. We've got a bunch of regulars in the chat every single day. Know everybody by name. Hope to see you become one of them here. Come on, Bulls. Let's show a little backbone here. Is this live or recorded? Pre-recorded, baby. That's a joke, by the way. Progress. Hey, Nico, I'm new here and I'm enjoying it. Bought about 10 take profit traders. Got the big 40% discount. Good to hear it. Yeah, man, take profit trader. Of course, my code across the board is code BIG, B-I-G, baby. Because any problem can be outgrown if you just fucking go bigger with it. That's the truth. That's been my truth, at least. So I'm sticking with it. But code big, man. Yeah, Take Profit Trader is running a hell of a deal. 40% off and no activation fee, which is stupid. It's the best deal I've ever seen them run. It's from 4th of July, actually. I don't know how long they're going to keep it up, but it's still running. All right, what's ATR at now? We're sitting at about 10 for ATR. Again, ATR, I know a lot of you guys are new here, ATR is the average true range. It is literally just the average range of a 2-minute bar in points based on the last 10 2-minute bars, so the last 20 minutes, right? Helps us, I don't use it like an indicator, not taking trades based on it, but it helps us manage trades and not make tremendous asks out of a market that is unlikely to give us that ask. Yes, Beach. I am trading a bunch of prop accounts at Take Profit Trader and Apex Trader Funding. Copy trading. All right, not bad, Bulls. Come on now. Yeah, I'll take 9 points there. Can't make a tremendous ask. Now you'll see it says 2 left, right? I'm flattening. That's the copy trader ghost order issue. There you go, and we're flat. All right, on to the next. 12 seconds left here on this 2-minute bar. Let's see what we get. Hey, Charlie, appreciate you. Hope to see you become a regular in the chat, my man. Yes, Big Dave, that's correct. All right, we got 41 seconds left here on this 2-minute. Let's see how we close. All right, there you go. There's the rollover. Inside close. All right, guys. Well, I'll tell you what. A lot of new people in here. Appreciate you joining us. Hope to see you become one of our regulars, which we have many of in the chat. I know everybody by name at this point, and they're here every day, man. Best chat on trading YouTube. Not even gonna say in my opinion. That's just a damn fact. So, all right, guys, I'm gonna hit lunch. If you have not done so yet, subscribe to the channel. I'm live every single day. And hey, best deal always, use code BIG, B-I-G. Right now it's 40% off, no activation fee at Take Profit Trader, and Apex Trader Funding is 80% off single day pass for a couple more days with the same code. All right, guys, be patient, let the trade come to you, and when it does, fucking hit it hard. All right, guys, see you in the morning. Have a good day.